Well, hello everyone. Election is 1 week away. Can you imagine? We've literally, actually, let's see here. Yeah, 1 week away. It's the 26th of October today. And I've been getting a lot of emails and questions saying, Roger, how's this stock going to do? How's this stock going to do? Everybody's concerned about the elections. Well, I'm going to tell you guys something before I get into today's story. And today's story is going to be, how will the election impact internet stocks, big and small? So I'll answer that question, and we're going to have some help with Bank of America, because Bank of America actually issued, and Bank of America is really, really in tune with internet and large internet and small internet companies. They're actually at the forefront on it. They've given us some guidance. I want to go over that with you and give you my opinions. But I'm going to tell you guys something important. I think, and this is an opinion of mine, I think the election is not going to be, is not going to have as big of an impact on the stock market this time around, and I'm going to tell you why. Because of how the year started with COVID-19 and central banks and federal government stepping in to help and aid this country. These making money cheap and increasing the liquidity within the stock market is a huge, huge catalyst for prices of stocks to go up. The last time the Fed did this and central banks stepped in was 2008. And between 2008 and 2014, the size of the global market doubled in size. The global stock market literally went from the $30 trillion to about $65, $70 trillion. So I think the influx of capital and what happened to us in February, March, and April of this year will have a much bigger impact over the next 4 years than who is going to win the presidential election. Obviously, the presidential election is going to have some impact, regulatory and so forth, and I'll talk about those details right now. But I believe the COVID-19 and the next 4 years will be shaped by that, and that's going to shape the world's economy a lot more than the presidential election. And that's really good for traders and investors, because that'll give us a very concentrated focus of where money is going to be flowing, with a lot less political questions to kind of throw us off the path, if you will. I've personally found 2020 to be a pretty easy year to trade, because we've had a very concentrated focus of where the money's going, like the stay-at-home sector. So let me tell you what Bank of America thinks how the election is going to play out and the companies it's going to impact. And I believe and agree with them 100%, and I've been following them. So if the Democrats win, if the Democrats take, and again, I'm not biased, this is not a political thing, this is just how things are going to go, how things are going to shape out. If the Democrats win, all right, it'll have a major, major regulatory environment. Democrats love to regulate. That means companies like Amazon, all right, can be negatively affected, because they may decide to start breaking up or further tax it. And keep something in mind, Biden may also increase foreign taxes on U.S. companies, and companies like Amazon, companies like Netflix, companies like Google, let me show you this, make a substantial part of their money from foreign countries. They're not a U.S. company. They're a global company. So a U.S. company like Amazon, Netflix, Google will be very much impacted, because if foreign taxes are higher, that's less revenue for the company, or less net for the company. So in terms of regulatory impact, you've got Amazon, Netflix, Google, and Facebook. In terms of a global intangible low taxed income, that's what it's called. It's called global intangible low taxed income. That can impact Facebook, Alphabet, which is Google, and Bookings Holdings, which is a international travel company. But here's the thing. If Democrats win, small cap internet stocks may actually do well, because these tax increases usually are outweighed by stimulus that the Fed gives to smaller companies. So smaller internet companies should rise or rally, and the FANG stocks should be subdued a little bit, okay? So because small caps may see least exposure to the election uncertainty, as potential negative tax increases may be outweighed by stimulus under the Democratic sweep. And again, this stimulus would impact smaller cap stocks in the Russell 2000. Here is the symbol, and the Russell, by the way, has been leading ahead of the S&P 500 over the past few weeks. Right now, let's see how it's looking right now. Right now, it's down 2.39, and the SPY is down. It might have reversed course, is down 3. So again, but if you look at the 50-day moving average, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, the market actually has been pricing, till today, has been pricing the fact that Democrats are ahead. I'm not done yet. I'm going to talk a little more about it. As you can see here, we have a triangle pattern. And if you look at the S&P, that's a symmetrical triangle. But if you look at the Russell, that is an ascending triangle. And the Russell's a little higher above the 50-day moving average, and it looks like it can break out on an ascending triangle, because the ascending triangle is a bullish pattern, whereas a symmetrical triangle, there's a higher odds that the breakout or can be a breakout or a breakdown. So again, to review, large internet companies, not so well under Democratic government. Smaller internet companies, substantially better under Democratic government. Under Republican government, smaller companies would do worse, less stimuli, but there's less taxes and less regulatory, so FANG stocks would do better. Now, what about companies like Carvana, Expedia, and Wayfair? Remember something, e-commerce, we're talking about ad spend, and usually heavy stimuli from the blue sweep is positive for the gross domestic product, and gross domestic product is highly correlated with ad spending. And ad spending is really good for e-commerce and online travel. So if you're looking at companies like Carvana, for example, this is very, very positive for a Democratic government. Because again, better for the GDP, because there is higher stimuli. So again, Carvana, that's one. Another one, Expedia, EXPE, that's another one. This is positive because, again, gross domestic products usually go up under a blue wave. Expedia would be solid. Hasn't been really doing really great right now, but again, we don't know what's going to happen after the election. And Wayfair, that's another. These are online commerce, online sellers, and again, blue is good for them. Red, not so good. Wayfair has been just killing it. And some of these stocks like Wayfair, they've been really doing well regardless because of the stay-at-home economy. Now, another group of stocks online stocks you need to look at, and that's Uber and Lyft. And what Bank of America is talking about is California Proposition 22, which is important for the gig economy, like Uber and Lyft, because it's in direct crosshairs. Also, companies like Amazon, because they're now delivering, are exposed as California's votes could spur legislation. And it's very important for Uber because that's an implication of a 25% U.S. bookings in Democratic majority states. So you're going to have to watch companies like Uber very carefully, because that's going to be a big, big impact if Democrats win. That's going to be a bummer for California. Take a look at Uber. Wow, 25% tax would not be good. And it wouldn't be good for Lyft. So if Republicans win, it may be good for FANG stocks, but it may not be good for smaller Russell 2000 stocks. If Democrats wins, it may be really good for the smaller internet stocks or smaller stocks, and it may be bad for the FANG stocks. Online sellers like Expedia, Carvana, anybody who has huge ad exposure, who buys things online, would be doing better with Democrats. And companies like Uber and Lyft, under Democrats, they're going to see a tax, this gig tax from California, and the rest of the country is worried that it may expand into other parts of the country. So for companies like Uber and Lyft, democratic government would not be good. So large cap technology, it's better if Trump wins. Small cap technology, it's better if Biden wins. For large cap e-commerce stocks, it's better if Biden wins. And for companies like Uber and Lyft, it's better if Trump wins. A lot better if Trump wins. And I hope that helps. Folks, even if you don't follow the stock market or investing closely, I still recommend you check out this short video linked below about America's Income Project. A world-renowned trader, hedge fund manager, and best-selling author is going to show you how to potentially collect $10,400 in extra income each month for life. And it works for everyday folks, normal people just like you. If you need extra cash to pay for everyday expenses or just want to play catch-up with your retirement savings, you really need to see this. Click on the link below to watch the secret footage now.